So, you're running into problems with your roulette table? Hey everybody, I'm Redstone, and in this video I'll try my best to go over some common problems and how you can resolve them. Before we start, remember that this machine only works in Minecraft Java Edition. I'd also recommend installing my resource pack, Redstone Tweaks, to see stuff like these signal strength numbers, or also these observer errors. Feel free to use the video chapters to jump to your specific issue, and also check the pinned comment for any updates or if I missed anything. If after following this video you still can't find your problem, please open up a support ticket over on my Discord server. Let's get started. Problem number 1. Your machine won't accept the payment even though your item filter is configured correctly. If this happens to you, first check this dropper right here and make sure that there isn't a second item inside, so this should only be a single item inside this dropper. Secondly, make sure that this redstone dust right here is only powered on signal strength 1. If you see anything like this, where it's powered on another signal strength, you might be missing this block right here. Or maybe this redstone torch right here is active and you're missing some of this redstone dust. Or maybe this repeater right here is missing, something like that. So this redstone dust right here should be only powered on signal strength 1. And there should be only one dirt inside this dropper right here. Maybe the machine does collect your diamond, and you also hear this note block sound down here, but nothing else happens, so it doesn't start spinning and you don't hear any other note block sounds. In that case, it's likely a problem with this area right here of the yellow circuit. So in my case, I'm just missing a piece of redstone dust right here. Or you might also have this repeater right here the wrong way around, or also this repeater right here. Next problem, the machine starts without you needing to press the button. So as soon as you enter the diamond, it starts spinning. If that happens to you, it's likely just that you forgot to put the dirt inside this dropper. Maybe you also used a dispenser instead of a dropper, and that way the item got lost because it didn't enter the hopper. Or it's just some other problem with this part right here. Next problem, the roulette table is spinning forever and not ever stopping. This can happen when you use a stone button right here. And as you can see, when I just press this twice without any delay, suddenly there are 2 items inside this first slot. So when you now take one of these out, it should eventually stop. So just make sure to use a wooden button right here. If that doesn't fix it, it might be a problem with your server. So on some servers actually, this will happen even with a wooden button. And the way you can fix that is by first taking out your diamonds from this shulker box and then going down here. Now this redstone dust right here is on a block normally, but on some servers it needs to be on a slab. So just put a slab there with redstone dust on top. And this is just because some servers mess with hopper speeds using plugins. As you can see, now it's spinning and there's only one item inside this first slot. If at that point it's still spinning forever, it might be a problem with this blue circuit right here. So maybe you're missing this redstone torch right here. Or there's maybe no stackable item inside this dropper, so you're missing this piece of dirt and only have these shovels, for example. Next problem, this spinning part just breaks completely. Something like that. If that happens to you, you might have accidentally placed a block right here, so just take that one out. Also check that on the other side, you have redstone dust on top of this block right here. Some people have redstone dust like this. And that way this is always powered and this piston in this corner won't get updated. Just make sure you have a block right here with redstone dust on top of that. And now you can just fix all of your slabs. I'm pretty sure this got pushed out. No. This got pushed away. And as you can see, that also broke the comparator in this corner. So just be very mindful of that and make sure all of your comparators are still in place. And now if I just put this back, it might work again. If that didn't fix it, it's likely some other problem with your orange circuit, so make sure that all of your repeaters are set to 1 tick of delay and all of your observers are facing the correct direction. Like this. Next problem, it always moves exactly 2 spaces. So one right now, and then another space once the randomizer finishes. As you can see. And in that case, you likely messed up with this block right here, because it needs to be a slab. Otherwise, this light blue circuit powers this note block, which messes with the clock. And now it should spin like normal. If this slab didn't fix it, it might have also been a problem with this observer right here. So make sure it isn't going into the node block right here, but instead coming out of it like this. There are also some other cases where the randomizer just isn't working, like in this case where it's always spinning for a very short duration, as you can see. And that's likely a problem with the blue circuit. So down here, for example, in this case, this repeater needs to be on 4 ticks. Also make sure this repeater is set to 1 tick and going into the other repeater. Maybe you also have your comparators the wrong way around. Below this block, there should be an observer going into this block below the dropper with a node block right here with redstone dust on top. Also make sure that this comparator is the correct way around and these two repeaters are set to the correct delay. Plus that the item configuration inside this dropper is correct and there's nothing inside the hopper. Also make sure that this right here is a slab so that this connects correctly, as well as that this block right here is a slab, because otherwise this dropper would be constantly powered, which we don't want. When you now activate the machine, you will see that this repeater right here remains active for a while and then gets continuously locked by this repeater for a random number of times. How often that happens is decided by this part right here. And as you can see, the machine stops as soon as both of these repeaters turn off. If that part is still not working for you, you should definitely check out the world download section over on my Discord server. There is a version of this roulette table which swaps out this randomizer with a composter randomizer, similarly to my slot machine, and that will likely also work on servers with altered hopper speed. I can't promise anything, but it might work. Next problem, it's constantly paying out while it's spinning. In that case, you're likely just missing this redstone torch right here. And if that didn't fix it, it might also be a problem at the very back with this repeater right here. So just make sure it's set to exactly 1 tick of delay. Same should be the case for all of your orange circuit repeaters. Next problem, it's not paying out as it should. So either it's not paying out at all, or only on a single color, or on the wrong color. Maybe it's also paying out the wrong amounts. Now I would love to say that there's just one simple fix for this, but unfortunately there are many reasons why that might be happening. It may not actually be a problem with your payout circuit itself, but maybe also a problem with the win detection circuit. Luckily there's a simple way that you can find out. Below this block right here, there is a node block, and as soon as you win, it should play. If you win and the node block also plays, it's likely a problem with the payout circuit. And if you win and the node block doesn't play, it's likely a problem with the win detection. Let's first cover the case where, when it lands on the correct color, you do hear the node block sounds, but you don't get any diamonds or the wrong number of diamonds. Since then it isn't a problem with the win detection, you should first check if there are actually any diamonds inside your dropper. Next up, ensure that these comparators are pointing in the correct directions, that this comparator right here is facing the correct way, that there are 3 non-stackable items inside this hopper, and also, which is the problem in my case, make sure that this cauldron is filled to level 1. Also make sure that this observer right here is facing the correct way, as well as at the bottom, make sure that this piston and this observer are facing the correct way. There's a block right here, a node block in this spot, and then these observers all also face the correct way. Also make sure that these repeaters right here are set to the correct delay, so all of them should be on 3 ticks, as well as that they are all facing the correct direction, so this one should be going towards the back, and these two towards the front of the machine. Also make sure that this redstone dust right here can reach these repeaters freely and isn't, for example, cut off by a block like this. I've also heard some people say that their payout dropper is getting pushed upwards. That shouldn't happen in vanilla, since droppers normally can't be pushed by pistons. If it happens to you, you might be playing with mods or something that make droppers and chests and stuff like that movable. But fear not, you can simply replace this slab right here with a piece of obsidian, and that way the dropper should stay exactly where it's supposed to be. Now let's have a look at the case where it lands on the correct block. but you don't hear the node block sound. So essentially it's a problem with the wind detection. In many cases, that is just a problem with this repeater right here, which shouldn't be going into this block, but instead coming out of it. So that this redstone torch right here quickly turns off and then on again after each round. As you can see, it quickly flashed off and on. If that doesn't happen for you, you might be accidentally using a transparent block for this block. So make sure that it's a full solid block. And also make sure that there is an extended sticky piston right here with an observer at its face that is going into a block like this. If then the wind detection still doesn't work, it's kind of essential that you know at least a little bit about how the wind detection works so that you can troubleshoot it. So just follow me into this area of the machine and let's have a look. Now take out this block and then after that this redstone torch. Now this redstone dust right here should have a signal strength value that is between 1 and 3. Meanwhile, this signal strength should be some value from 0 to 2. Here's what these values actually mean. If this redstone dust is off, the machine thinks that you are betting on black. If it has signal strength 1, the machine thinks you're betting on red. And if it's signal strength 2, you are currently betting on green. Meanwhile, this redstone dust is on signal strength 2 when the block is currently on red. It's on signal strength 1 when you're currently on black. And it's on signal strength 3 when you are currently on green. And then at the end of each round, this value right here gets subtracted from this value using this subtraction mode comparator. And if the result is exactly 1, that means that the color that you bet on is the same that it also landed on. First, let's check if this signal strength right here always has the correct value. So if you go right here, you'll see that it's currently set to black. And this is currently on signal strength 0. If this is on red, this should now have signal strength 1. And if it's on green, this should now have signal strength 2. If that isn't the case for you, it's possible that the signal strength gets lost along the way from this purple circuit to that spot right there. So just check the following spots. This comparator right here should be going into this block and have redstone dust behind it. At the front of the machine, you can go down here, where this comparator should be taking an output from this cauldron through this block and going into this block with redstone dust at the left side of it. And when you now take out this block, you should see another comparator like this. If all of that was correct and it's still not transmitting the correct signal strength right here, it might be a problem with this purple circuit. So please just jump to that section of the video. There are also multiple reasons why this redstone dust right here might be on the wrong value. Quick reminder, it should be on signal strength 2 when you're currently on red, signal strength 1 when you're on black, and on green, it should be on signal strength 3. One of the options is that this light blue circuit right here is missing a piece of redstone dust. Maybe you also used a full block in this space, even though it should be a slab, because otherwise this torch would just power all of the light blue circuit redstone dust and overwrite the correct signal strength. Also make sure that all of these lecterns are set to the correct pages, because these actually tell the machine what the block is currently on. So if it's on red, black, or green. This gold block right here should be the only full block that's being pushed around. So all of these should be slabs. So make sure that you didn't accidentally turn one of them into a full block. And also make sure that this block right here isn't missing, because if it is and the machine is currently on green, all of this would be powered, which really messes with the signal strength. And I know it sounds stupid, but make sure that you didn't just accidentally swap the decorative blocks, so that red starts on the right side and black on the left side of this green block. Once you believe that this redstone dust and this redstone dust both display the correct signal strength depending on the block that you bet on, and depending on the color that it's currently on, you can then put back your redstone torch, as well as this block right here. If then the wind detection still isn't working, it's likely a problem with this part down here. Just make sure that there's a slab above this torch right here, that both of these redstone dust don't connect with the redstone dust up here. So there should be blocks in this spot. And make sure you aren't missing this repeater right here, as well as all of this redstone dust, and this torch, as well as this torch. The color switcher can also break in a few very spectacular ways. The first option is that you're using a stone button instead of a wooden button, because if you spam these stone buttons, yeah, this sort of stuff happens, and eventually even the payout breaks. And the reason for that is that stone buttons are only active for 1 second, whereas wooden buttons are active for 1.5 seconds. So please only use wooden buttons for this. Also make sure to use a slab below the button and not a full block. Let's just quickly fix the payout circuit. So as you can see down here, this cauldron got pushed up by 1 block. So if you just quickly break it and then place it 1 block lower and just make sure to fill it correctly, it should all work again. The reason why it even activated that payout is because all of this stuff kind of got pushed away. So this observer got pushed into this direction and therefore powered this piston, which is not supposed to happen. So just break this block, this block, this block, and this block, and place an observer coming out of this piston. At the top, you also see this observer, which isn't really supposed to be there. So just break it, as well as these 3 color blocks, and place an observer coming out of this piston going into this block. Then for the top blocks, you will need one of your green, red, and black blocks. Just place your black block at the top, then one of your green blocks in this spot, and your red one right here. At the bottom, just place a block right here, and then 2 cauldrons, like this. And fill this one up to level 2, and this one to level 1. And that should be everything, so just see if when you press this button, the cauldrons rotate correctly as well. So if it's red, this should be the level 1 cauldron. If this is green, this should be the level 2 cauldron. And on black, you should just have a regular block there. The slightly annoying part about this circuit is that it can also break when you mess up with the payout circuit. I'll just show you what I mean. Yeah, that's not supposed to happen. And as you can see, this redstone dust right here got broken. So instead of this cauldron, there should normally be redstone dust here. And this block should normally be at the face of this piston. This cauldron should be down here and filled to level 1. But the reason why this happened is that down here, these repeaters are configured incorrectly. So all of them need to be on 3 ticks of delay. And obviously, if this redstone dust right here is broken, that will break even more stuff when you press the button. Yeah, and it's no longer cycling colors. So in that case, simply take out this observer, as well as this red block and the green block. Just put them back, then put back your observer. Make sure the black block is already there, as well as this block. As you can see, these cauldrons got pushed in weird positions again, so just take them out, as well as this observer. Then put the observer back here. Then put your cauldrons back in the correct position. And make sure to fill the left one to level 2 and the right one to level 1. And obviously don't forget to put back your redstone dust. Other than that, make sure that you're not missing this block, that all of these are slabs. Same for this block down here. All of these blocks should have redstone dust on them. And just make sure that all of your observers are also facing the correct way. And just like that, you should be able to rotate all of the blocks correctly and even spam the button, and nothing should break. As a small bonus, here's how you can change the winning payout on green. simply head down here and open up this hopper. And inside it, you will see 3 non-stackable items. If you now have a quick look at this chart, you will see that 3 stacks or 3 non-stackable items will give you a comparator output signal strength of 9. Now essentially this circuit right here always outputs the signal strength plus 1 diamond blocks, or diamonds, or whatever you have it configured to. So if you want players to win less on green, you can simply come down to this hopper. So let's say you want them to win 7 diamonds, or 7 diamond blocks in this case. Then you would need a signal strength of 6, so at least 1 stack and 51 items. And you can simply get that by taking out one of your non-stackable items. And now you should see that it outputs only 7 diamond blocks. There you go. And with that, I hope you were able to get the roulette table fully functional again. If this video has helped you out, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you all so much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!